Hi, I'm PD, welcome to my Plasti Dip, and today's video I want to discuss our Plasti Dip product in the paint tins. Now if you've never come across Plasti Dip before, it comes in aerosol cans ready to spray, and then Plasti Dip in the tin format. You need to add thinners if you're spraying, but you can dip, brush or spray out of the tin. Now I've actually sprayed 7 coats of Plasti Dip with the Airlex spray gun onto a sheet of metal and then peeled it off to show you what I'm talking about. This is it here. It's liquid rubber paint. It's flexible at temperatures of minus 30 degrees all the way up to plus 92. So no matter what the elements throw at it, it's going to protect whatever it goes on, and it's also going to look good. I've seen this stuff, put on cars, motorbikes, push bikes, garden furniture, garden ornaments, tool handles. The list is endless. So let's get down to the technical aspects. So if you're going to spray with this stuff, you need to thin it 1:1. If you're using a standard spray gun and compressor, make sure you have a 1.5mm tip in the gun, and then you got to thin this out 1:1. And what I mean is, if you're using this 2.5 litres of Plasti Dip, add 2.5 litres of our Plasti Dip or xylene thinners. Mix it thoroughly, preferably with a mixing paddle. And once that's done, you can start spraying with it. Now, if you don't have one of those guns, you can consider buying the Airlex MS2901. This was designed by Airlex purely for spraying Plasti Dip, so out of the box is pretty much ready to use. Comes with a 7-metre hose and a very lightweight portable electric air compressor. It's known as a high volume low pressure spray gun. I think it runs about 2 pounds of pressure only, and it is €149, so it's good value and it's a good spray gun. Last spray gun that we do is one of my all-time favourites. This is the Prevail portable spray gun. This thing will spray paints, oils, plant foods, solvents, you name it. We're using it for Plasti Dip because the spray finish on this is absolutely superb. This power unit will empty out this jar 2.5 times. That's about 400ml of product. And remember, even when using this, thin it 1:1. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is a speed shape that I've done a new Plasti Dip flip colour in, and that was done with the Prevail spray gun. As you can see, the paint finish is lovely and smooth, and it's a nice looking colour. So that's the spraying end of it. Now if you're going to brush this stuff on, you have to thin it out 25%. I did a sample yesterday actually at around 10 to 15%, and it worked very well. So somewhere between 10 and 25% of thinners, mix it well, and you're ready to brush. You can also dip items into this, and if you're going to dip anything in it, for example, I did a pliers actually and a socket handle. This was an all-metal pliers, so it was nice to have a bit of grip with the the rubber effect on it. It's insulated against electric shock, and it's not going to corrode or rust in any way. But you can dip this stuff in neat, but it goes on very, very thick. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Or you can add up to 25% thinners for dipping also. So for dipping and brushing, 25% thinners, or go neat just for dipping. Now I've done some pieces of wood and metal, brushing it on, and let me just show you actually Plasti Dip unthinned, and this is it here. It's still viscous, but it's quite thick. And then for brushing, I added somewhere between 10 and 15%. I wasn't paying too much attention. I think about 15%. You can see it's quite viscous. So this is a piece of wood with 2 coats of Plasti Dip on it. It's still going to be flexible. It's not going to crack, peel or flake. The wood is never rot. It's 100% protected from moisture, air and water corrosion. I have a sheet of steel. I applied some Plasti Dip on. This is the first coat, no primer. You can see the brush strokes, but then after the second and third coat, it's flattened out nicely. It's nice and smooth. You can use a primer. This will increase the adhesion of Plasti Dip up to 400%. There are times when you don't want to use a primer, like if you were to put primer on your car, it's not removable where Plasti Dip is, so just put down the Plasti Dip only. Dipping again, circuit board. These circuit boards are going into outdoor control units. I've dipped this one in clear, and I dipped this one here. I dipped it twice in very thinned. I think it was at least 25% thinned Plasti Dip, so I ended up dipping it twice. But I actually put the connector on, so everything on this board now is fully insulated and protected from moisture, or even if it's submerged in water, it would still work because it makes it 100% waterproof. Actually ideal. I've seen it being used in RC equipment, protect radio gear, servos and stuff like that in RC boats. But as I say, outdoor control equipment, gate closers, lighting. It'll protect anything in that kind of circuitry from all the elements. So let's do a quick recap. You can dip it, you can brush it, and you can spray it. Dipping, you can go neat, or you can add thinners. Brushing between 10 and 25%, and spraying, no matter the gun, 1 to 1, litre Plastidip, litre of thinners. Now this stuff is air dry, so if you're spraying with it, you have to allow, if you're at about 17 or 18 degrees ambient temperature, your drying time is about 10 to 15 minutes. So minimum of 4 coats when you're spraying, by the way. I did 7 coats of that sample I showed you. The more coats, the more protection, but 4 is the bare minimum for spraying. And drying time, as I say, is about 15 minutes between coats. So if you get 5, 6, 7 coats on, your project, wherever it may be, will be done in about an hour and a half. If you're brushing, at least 3 coats, because it's actually going on a little bit thicker. And drying time is, I'd say, at least 35-40 minutes between coats. If you're dipping neat, that's going to take at least 24 hours to dry, because it goes on very thick. And because it's air dried, if you leave the lid open too long, if you forget to put the lid back on at all, it will set. But you can rescue your Plastidip by adding, in a tin this small, if it was half full, probably a cap full of thinners, maybe a little bit more. Mix it in well, and once it's gone nice and viscous again, seal it up, and it'll be like brand new to use again. Now, we're obviously open online 24/7, 365. So if you order something, it'll be delivered out to you, obviously. But if you're nearby and you want to collect, our warehouse is based in Dublin. We're open Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 5:30, closed for lunch. And if you want to come in and collect your product, no problem, we're happy to see you. If you want to come in and talk Plastidip technical applications, spraying techniques, stuff like that, ring first. Make sure there's a technical advisor here before you call. And you'll get all that information on our website, plastidip.ie. Health and safety, when you're spraying, wear some goggles, wear a mask. The fumes from thinners are bad for you, so please wear a mask. But once Plastidip is dry, it's completely non-toxic and harmless. So I think that pretty much covers everything for now. Remember to click on our subscribe button to see our next video. I'm PD, and thanks for watching.